AI will write your course in 20 minutes, and then your students are going to quit in 5. Hi, I'm Dr. Katrina Mitchum, and I have been designing and redesigning courses online since 2009. There are 4 things that AI-generated courses typically lack. 1, AI doesn't know your specific audience, their language, the things they're struggling with, their context. Even if you take all of the market research that you've collected and give it to the AI and give it your personas and things like that, as of today, it still struggles to create a learning experience that fits who your ideal client is. And if you watched my video on why the guru formulas don't work, you know that your client context matters. The second thing that AI doesn't understand, no matter how much you give it, right, is your expertise. And so that's kind of the nuanced thing that makes you different in the sea of everyone else doing email marketing or even courses. AI can see some of the things I've talked about, but it doesn't know the breadth of things that make me different, right? Sometimes it is the interweaving of all of the different experiences and all of the different even jobs that you've held that make your experience and expertise in the thing that you're teaching unique. Third is that it can't make instructional design decisions. And I know because I have asked it to act like an instructional designer. I've asked it to act like a learning experience designer, and it still struggles with things like the correct order to do things in, right? So like how actual activities and the doing builds on each other, and then how it gets to the goal. Because those things have to be different based on learner context and who you are. So it's kind of this overlap that I've talked about in a previous video that AI struggles to see, right? Because it is, even with all of its knowledge base, it's still predicting based on just what it knows. And those first 3, I am assuming that you are giving AI, right, things and context. But if you're not, if you're just saying to AI, hey, I want to do a course on XYZ, and you're relying on AI generating that course for you, it's going to be seriously generic. And people are going to leave. Okay, so all of these things that AI doesn't know is why it results in things that AI can't do. So they can't understand your learners' unique sticky points, right? In every learning experience, there are certain sticky points for learners. Sometimes it's all the same sticky point. In my course, I know it is the same sticky point. And so I've built things in to kind of help with that sticky point. But sometimes those sticky points are unique to the experience of the people coming to you. And unless we've got AI implanted in everybody's brains that knows what all of their past experiences are, there is no way that it is going to be able to predict those things. And these are things that you know from working with them, right? From doing the work with the real live people that come to you for help. You've been able to see these things. AI not knowing what your expertise is and who your learner is also results in an inability to know when to dive in deeper into something or make the deep dive a bonus and when to move on, right? AI doesn't have the expertise judgment to determine how much is enough for them to be able to do this thing and reach the goal. AI is also, it is very good at making shit up. It makes things up all the time. Even in situations where I have given it context, it still decides that it's going to tell this random case study about this multi-million-dollar course that I audited. While I appreciate that AI has complete faith in me, it's bullshit, right? And while that would be a nice fancy story, one, it's sensationalizing the story. And so it doesn't give things that look and feel authentic, right? And those examples and those metaphors that make things click, those have to look and feel authentic. They have to be authentic. Those are the things that create those aha experiences in a learning experience. AI also, because of what it doesn't know or understand, can't design for the messiness that is actually learning. Like, learning doesn't happen linearly, it doesn't happen in the order that we want it to. It is a messy process. So it isn't going to know how to address when people get stuck. It's not going to anticipate when people get stuck or confused or need a different approach. So you, as the expert, know what the different approach might be, and you can ask AI to help you create it, but AI isn't going to know that the different approach is needed, even if you prompt it. So I have been talking a lot about like what AI can't do, but I also, if you've been listening, am talking about things that I have AI do, right? And so for me, the best approach to use when you are trying to use AI to help you build your course is something called machine in the loop. I wish I had created that phrase, but I didn't. Somebody else smarter than me did. But this is the idea where AI acts as your assistant that helps you, as opposed to AI doing the thing and you just checking it, right? So AI can help with things like organization. And this is an organization where it spits it out at you, but where you give it something and you tell it what you're aiming for, and it can help identify gaps in the structure. It can help identify places where things might need to move. It can identify a logical flow. Can't always create it itself, but it can see it in what it already exists. The second one is ideation. So AI can actually prompt you, if you ask it to think about angles that you might have missed, right? So you can ask it to look for gaps. You can ask it for suggestions on other perspectives. You can ask it for ideas, right? And so the key here is that it's a lot of back and forth with the AI tool. AI can also help you be efficient. So one way that you can use AI that is kind of having it help you with things is you can give it all of the information and have it reorganize things, or what I like to call do a reverse outline, which is connected to organization, but it's also about having it do tasks that you're giving it the expertise, right? So for example, and I've mentioned this example before, but I have a list of questions in the marketing plan that I have my folks do, and it's just in a doc, right? Which is fine. Some people like that, but some people also really like the organization and look of a spreadsheet. So I wanted to give that option. So I copied my document and I asked AI to create a Google Sheets script for me using the thing I already had. And it did it beautifully, right? I told it why I was asking it to create this, like who this was intended for, people that like to have that kind of systematized look and feel of a spreadsheet, because it makes their brain feel like things are more organized and they can see things in a more umbrella way. And it did it absolutely no problem. I think I had to make one correction, right? But this is me using my expertise to tell AI exactly what I want. You can also ask AI to help with kind of repetitive tasks. So when I was first creating my process for course audits, I had a template that I was using for my recommendations reports, right? And I had been looking at several different types of courses. And so my report was kind of all over the place. So what I did was I took the first 5 audit reports that I did and I gave it to AI and I asked it to help me create templates that could be used across multiple different kinds of courses. And I gave it a few examples. I still had to tweak it, but it was able to take all of the work that I was redoing each time. I redid it 5 different times and create a template that now is easy for me to adapt when I do another course audit. And so the point here is that the expertise and the design judgments, those all have to come from you because AI can't do those things. Okay, so why should you care, right, about those two differences, especially if asking AI to just generate the course and all the activities and content would just be so much faster and save you so much time. So it matters because if somebody buys a course from you or even does your free course, let's say this is a free lead magnet, if they experience this course and they get in there and it is not getting them the change that they're looking for or the transformation that they're looking for, they are not going to recommend you. They're not going to come back. If it's a free lead magnet, it didn't work. They're not going to hire you to help them do the thing they need doing because you didn't help them actually do the thing that you promised the first time, right? And these are the kinds of things that have led to people not trusting courses at the moment. And I hope that changes. If you didn't see that series, go check it out now. So if you're looking for speed without like real learning design strategy, you're just going to get volume. So you might pump out like 20 courses, but you're not going to have value. If you're not getting them results, it's not going to work. And if it doesn't work, then who actually gives a shit about how fast you're doing it? Because students, learners, clients, they remember courses that worked for them, not courses that were done quickly. They don't give a shit how long it took you. They want to know that it worked for them. AI is a tool, and tools don't create transformation. You do. If you're looking for support with keeping the machine in the loop instead of yourself in the loop, my membership is a great place to start. The link is in the description. In next week's video, I'm going to talk about how platforms lie with numbers to get your business. If it's not there, it'll be there next week.